The modern world makes us believe health can be approached the same exact way as self-improvement, right? As young men who value holistic living, we've unfortunately been conditioned to just compartmentalize and isolate absolutely everything when it comes to our development. We tell ourselves, I'll dial in my fitness first, then my work and studies, then my relationships, then my faith. And so all this does is force us down a path in which we're building mind, body, and soul in this fragmented, misaligned approach. And so it's exactly what I realized I've been personally doing within this current 365-day identity transformation journey I've been documenting on here, right? Back in those first few episodes I made, I explained how the original approach of 365 Align was phasing out alignment across my mind, my body, and my soul. Phase 1 was Soul 2.0 to align myself spiritually across things like my identity, my lifestyle, my relationships, strengthening my connection with myself, others, in the universe, and just creating a consistent daily flow that allows me to act in accordance with the man God has called me to become. And so the intention with starting with Soul 2.0 within 365 Align was so I could then build my mind and body from that strong internal foundation. And over the past few months, I've 100% created that deeper alignment across those more spiritual aspects of my life, right? In terms of more presence within my relationships, more fulfillment within my life, more embodiment of that 2.0 self. So much so that I have been meaning to make a video as to how Soul 2.0 has finally come to an end after 6 long months. How I would especially be dialing in my health and fitness moving forward within that next phase of Body 2.0. But I decided this wasn't actually going to be the case after coming to a deep realization relative to my own journey, and I feel like just so many other guys can resonate with this. It's that real long-term healing doesn't happen through isolation, through phasing out, addressing your mental, physical, and spiritual health in some elaborate protocol, man. Nah, that is not what this is about. Because what most health advice online fails to highlight is the fact that a broken body affects your mind and soul. A neglected soul affects your mind and body, right? A misaligned mind affects your body and soul. All of these fundamental aspects of your being are interconnected, meaning you can't heal one in isolation from the others. It's why within that intention to transition from soul to body 2.0, to shift from the spiritual to the physical, I was only creating separation and misalignment within my overall being, complicating the process within healing my mind, body, and soul more than was necessary. So this episode is a testament to one simple truth I've come to accept, which is that real long-term healing cannot be phased out, but it must be integrated. Addressing your inner wounds and external appearance are not separate, but connected. So the 3 insights I want to highlight specifically within this video involve exactly that, in terms of why I was attempting to heal my body and soul individually, the parallels I'm noticing between physical and spiritual healing, and how I'm now evolving 365 Align to actually reflect holistic healing across mind, body, and soul. First off, back when I intuitively decided to commit myself to this year-long journey, the phased out approach looked good on paper, right? Between mind, body, and soul, your spirit is what largely defines your overall identity, right? Who you are deep down when you strip away things like the physique, the money, the outside voices and opinions. The real authentic you that isn't bound by any of the material things of this modern day. And so it's why I naturally gravitated towards focusing on the spiritual as phase 1 of 365 Align, especially to detach from the identity I'd built off ego, off over-optimization, off external validation over these last 2 years. And like I mentioned, my spiritual growth has genuinely 10x over the past few months. Been able to reconnect with God and my intuition, to deepen my faith, to realign my identity and beliefs. All of this was done with the intention to then build my mind and body from a place of heart and soul. With health and fitness specifically, it was to heal my body from years of disrespect and misalignment, chronic stress, poor posture, weak digestion, and metabolic issues. And of course, I still remain convicted in how the inner creates the outer, right? How your physique is simply a reflection of your character and identity. But even in the midst of strengthening my soul and building that spiritual muscle, right, I saw how a lack of physical health was influencing my inner state. Gut issues and skin reactions creating feelings of fear and anxiety, poor sleep and posture making it harder to express conviction and gratitude, low energy and a slow metabolism, just putting me in a low frequency state internally. Right? All of these things just reinforced that my body and soul weren't two separate parts of myself, but that they were one collective unit expressing itself through both biology and consciousness. And so it made me realize that I was trying to align these pillars of health from separation rather than unity, operating under the impression that my soul solely reflected my physicality. But in reality, both of them are constantly mirroring one another. Your body can reveal the ways in which you suppress your soul just as much as your soul can reveal the ways in which your body is broken. And so the reason I and many other guys fail to truly grasp this idea comes with the nature of modern culture, right? Holistic living has become a rarity in a world that rewards disconnection and separation. Mainstream fitness pedestalizing the physique and the aesthetics whilst neglecting gut health and metabolism. Self-improvement fixating on purely discipline and optimization without preaching authenticity. Even New Age spirituality can isolate connection with God from simultaneously building your mindset and physicality. But the truth is, separation is merely a construct of mankind. Everything in nature actually exists in holistic harmony with one another, right? All life on earth shares the same energy and life force whether we realize it or not. It's exactly why my whole philosophy is grounded in the idea that fitness, mindset, and spirituality are all interlinked, right? Fitness is equally mind and soul as much as it is body. Mindset isn't just mental, it's also physical and spiritual. I honestly began to lose sight of this truth despite my own journey within both 365 Aligned and my own transformation these last 2.5 years proving otherwise. Right? With fitness, I've seen how a broken body creates low frequency emotions, less presence, more inner resistance. With spirituality, I've also seen how a broken soul creates chronic stress, insecurity, and an obsession over physique and health optimization. And so I understand now the link between both is what drives real transformation. You can shift internally, but still be living in a body trapped in stress and dysfunction. Likewise, you can build the physique, but still be operating from the identity of an old, misaligned self. Both cases show that inner and outer transformation cannot happen separately. That a weak pillar will just cause the others to break over time within the nature of mind, body, and spirit. You just end up losing the physique and self-worth because there was no alignment to back these things up. That's why even now I notice I'm reminiscing more about my old self and those past seasons of my life in terms of high school, love and heartbreak, times where I was in better shape, had more friends, had more freedom. Funny enough, this fixation on an old identity is happening at the same time as I navigate my current health issues in terms of low quality sleep, returning to high intensity training, simplifying my meals to respect my body's signals. But I see now the solution is attacking both fronts holistically under one unified approach, breaking out of this negative feedback loop that I'm slowly falling into, considering the body and soul mirror one another, right? The limiting beliefs, the skin issues, the inner conflict, the low energy, and instead flipping it towards a positive loop where physical and spiritual healing happen simultaneously. Identity, bioindividuality, lifestyle, nervous system, relationships, all of these things pouring into one another to create that alignment between body and spirit. Overall, it's through all of this that I now see the need to refine and thus adapt 365 Aligned to where instead of phasing everything out across soul 2.0, then body 2.0, then mind 2.0, dialing in identity first, then my physique, then my content and personal brand, I see the new intention becomes holistic healing instead of phased out healing. Building alignment through harmony rather than disconnection. Not trying to achieve perfect healing for one pillar before moving on to the next one, but understanding that all growth or progress in one area naturally fuels the others. Right, up until now, I was operating under the lens of healing spiritually whilst delaying both my mental and physical progress. But now it's about healing mind, body, and spirit all at once, knowing each automatically heals the others. Better health, better energy, better vitality will enhance my creativity and spiritual practice. Connection with God will naturally realign my nervous system and thoughts. Lowering stress will improve my workouts, my recovery, my confidence, my overall self-image. 365 Aligned was never about trapping myself in one mode of thinking within how this year-long journey will play out. Above all, it was to walk the path that naturally produces alignment across these fundamental aspects of my being. So if that means detaching from an approach that no longer serves or aligns with me, then so be it. Because I have conviction in how mind, body, and soul act as one central ecosystem. A misalignment in one damages the others just as much as alignment in one enhances the others. So moving forward, 365 Align becomes grounded in one simple intention, and it's to build a life where mind, body, and spirit can each thrive and coexist with one another, becoming a man of holistic health to step closer towards that 2.0 self. And because it's simply in my heart that I just want all the boys to win and thus align towards their own 2.0 selves, right? Here are a couple actionable for alignments to dial in both your health and overall identity so you can walk away from this video with at least some form of value. First off, to align your health, avoid hyperfixating on the symptoms and zoom out more when it comes to any health issues you may be currently experiencing. Don't ask yourself, how can I fix my skin? How can I fix my gut? How can I fix my physique? And instead look at the bigger picture in terms of what aspects of your fitness and overall lifestyle are potentially out of alignment. Right? Is it sleep? Is it stress management? Is it diet or training? Right? Take it a step further within assessing your relationships, your work, your connection with a higher purpose. And so in this way, you attack the issue on all fronts instead of viewing it as purely a physical problem. Because sure, it could just be that your training, nutrition, or recovery are out of whack. But as I've experienced myself, right, deeper factors can 100% be at play when it comes to your mental and spiritual being. Second, identify habits you align with that holistically support mind, body, and spirit. Right? Some of my personal go-tos are walking, cooking, writing, reading, and listening to music. On the surface, it seems like some of these only really benefit one of those health pillars, but even something like writing can genuinely regulate stress levels and bring clarity on your own values and beliefs. Walking can become a form of moving meditation and an opportunity to download intuition from God. Within anything you do, understand there's always a way to frame it as helping you to align mind, body, and soul simultaneously. So just figure out what habits fulfill that for you personally based on your own values and interests. Now moving over to identity. Detach from any beliefs that cause you to delay that holistic healing for yourself. Right? Don't be like me and how I believed I needed to fully heal spiritually before giving myself permission to align my fitness or my content creation, right? And instead replace that limiting belief of hyperfixating on one area of your development before focusing on the others with one simple intention, to just embody the version of you that's already healed across mind, body, and soul. Because living from that right identity naturally reveals the correct approach towards achieving that holistic health. So just ask yourself, how differently would I move if I already aligned and healed all of these areas of my life? And last but not least, replace the desire to optimize with the intention to align. Right? That can mean less obsession, less looking for shortcuts, less biohacking, basically anything that causes you to live in your head instead of align with the flow of life. Because seeking inner alignment instead gears you towards more presence, more consistency, more simplicity. You stop looking for short-term fixes and start seeking that long-term sustainable growth for yourself. So strive to progress in those areas of your life from the lens of creating alignment rather than chasing optimization. But overall, this whole idea of holistic versus phased out healing has genuinely opened my eyes as of late. Realizing healing isn't meant to be done in isolation, but rather through integration, especially within the dynamic between body and soul and physical and spiritual health. A misaligned body hurts the soul, and a misaligned soul equally damages the body. But it's through holistically building harmony between both that true healing starts to occur. So if you're a guy who's genuinely just been obsessing over self-help and mindset, right, chasing the body transformation and seeking to actually connect with your authentic self, understand that you don't need to approach any of these things in isolation from one another, right? Deep down, what you truly need is to just give yourself permission to align yourself as a whole, to create the type of healing that enhances your health and fitness, your personal development, and spirituality all at once. Exactly what I've been aligning more towards within documenting this 365 Align series on here, which is having 2026 be the year I heal myself mentally, physically, and spiritually after years of just building on a a broken foundation, right? To finally seek that holistic healing for my mind, my body, and my spirit. So if that resonates at all, subscribe on the YouTube and follow the Twitter and Instagram as well, right? Actually, I'm just way more active on those short form platforms, and I'm just dropping downloads daily. So links for those will be in the description. So beyond that, thank you for investing your time and eyeballs towards this video. Build a life that reflects becoming truly whole versus trying to heal through disconnection and separation. Unlock the 2.0 you waiting on the other side of that holistic alignment across mind, body, and spirit. As always, stay aligned.